Hello, everyone, and welcome to GG Gaming Gone Mad, episode 3. Well, we had plenty of winners from episode 2 last week. The Oracle Rugby getting himself an even 3,000 after a certain team won. And sorry, guys, a bit of a technical problem here. I have no idea what's happening, but I can hear my own voice. I think I've got the YouTube open, so let me just go. Sorry, Gary.
No problem.
Shut that down. I was sending the link to your man, Dave, who's up to about 1,900 a week after last week, and had the channel open. So, yeah, joining me on the line from Spain, it's Gary. He looks like he's lost a bit of weight over there. Pretty warm there, Gary.
Yeah, it's probably now about, what's the time, 6:30 here as well, and about 37 degrees outside. So it is pretty warm, eh, Brent? But, yeah, all good. I mean, nice to have a bit of summer weather. I believe it's raining in Cape Town. Well, it has been. So that's my ultimate, get the dams full in Cape Town while I have a bit of sunshine in Spain.
That's it. And the boys did quite well last week, Gary. The Oracle, I was just saying now before I was interrupted by my own voice, getting an even 3,000 on your best bet for the week. And we'll talk a little bit further about that. And also, Ruan, you got to say, pretty unlucky. He was the winner of the competition. He got closest in the Lions v Griquas game. And my treble, 6-1, first two legs arrived. Arsenal scored in the 93rd minute to get the -1 arrived there. And can you believe how those Springboks played? They were shocking.
They're absolutely ghastly. I watched it with a friend in London, and, there's just nothing that can be said. There's no redeeming parts of the game. There's nothing. They've just gone back to as bad as they've ever been, and one has to believe now that the World Cup is just a dream that they can never, ever reach next year. I know it's still in a year's time and whatever, but they're just not up to it. How are they ever going to beat sides like England on a neutral ground or Australia on a neutral ground, let alone the All Blacks? They can never beat the All Blacks. The truth be told, if 11 of the All Blacks arrive at the game thinking it's a soccer match, they would still beat the Springboks. That I'm sure of.
Yeah, I think you're right. I actually tweeted last week, and it got quite a bit of attention. I said a fair game in the Rugby Championship would be Australia v New Zealand for one half of rugby. Australia then go into the change rooms. They stay there. They don't come out. And we send the whole South African team, or perhaps the Argentinian team, out for the second half. But that really is how strong the All Blacks are. And I would still be pricing the All Blacks probably -5.
Well, I mean, let me ask you a question. If the All Blacks put out 2 full squads of 23 each, and they were in different sections of the draw, you don't think they'd run 1-2 in the World Cup if it was played next week?
Yeah, I think they probably would. Someone was making that comment, comparing it to back in the day when Australian cricket used to put an A and a B side into that sort of January tournament they used to run, the Tri-Nations. And quite often the two of them would sort of meet in the final. And I think, yeah, difficult to look past that. Really difficult to see how anybody's going to beat this All Black side at the moment. I do have the live comments running, so that's very important because part of the competitions will involve comments this week. And Gary, before we get into my treble, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight in and share 3 of the promos we have this week with the lads so that they can have a look at it and apply their minds to it a bit. We do have a 4th one, which I'll talk about at the end, and we'll revolve around let's call it the good for the game treble. By calling it my treble, it seems it poisons anything and gets 2 out of 3. So we do have a treble for you there. So let me just share the screen a bit and go straight into this. And I think I'll do a slideshow here, so hopefully everybody can now see my screen. Competition number 1, 3,000 Rand Master v Punter competition entry to the first person who emails Gary's bet from last week to gary@gggaming.bet. So that's open right now. So if you've got your email open, you just email Gary what his best bet was last week. The first person to do that will win basically a 3,000 full Master v Punter competition entry. Competition number 2, 3 500 Rand vouchers to the first 3 to guess what hotel Gary is in. And you'll have to give the answers in the live comments. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be impossible to tell at this stage, but Gary will drop a few hints during the show. The moment you think you know what hotel he is in, then you just mention it in the live comments, and the first 3 will get 500 Rand betting vouchers. And then competition number 3, 3 5,000 Rand betting vouchers to the first 3 people to refer 2 people to the Master Punter tournament who are not already GG Gaming account holders. So you need to get some of your mates who don't have accounts yet, convince them to enter the tournament. And when you've got their details and they've entered, you send the details through to gary@gggaming.bet. And the first 3 will get 5,000 Rand betting vouchers. So certainly I don't think the guys can complain about that at all. Some excellent promos there, Gary. And I'm sure that hopefully I've stopped sharing the screen now, but I'm still staring at the wrong thing. But I think there's going to be some scrambling to get guys into your competition, and I'm sure you've already got a lot.
Yeah, no, that is true. We have got a lot, and I mean we have one or two administrative challenges that we've come about, and we'll get through it, and we appreciate the patience that the participants are giving us. Next one will definitely be bigger and better and a little bit smoother as well. I mean, the admin hasn't been a disaster, but you know what I mean, one or two little hiccups and everything, but we're getting through each one every single day, and you know what I mean, come along, join it. I promise you now, it's great value. At the end of the day, if you're going to spend $3,000 punting or even R1,000 punting in the month of September, you may as well do it here. I mean, there's no downside, am I right? Hey, Brent, if you think about it, if you do it here with us, at the end of the day, if you win, you win. If you lose, you would have lost anyway. And if you win enough, you're going to get a 50% added to what you want. So there's really no reason for punters not to jump on board and enjoy this competition, enter as quickly as you can. I think it's great value. I'm not saying it because somebody in my company thought about it. I'm saying it because it's the type of competition I'd love to enter in. I mean, that's my business. At the end of the day, I run competitions. I've been doing it for 20, 30 years now, whether it be poker or punting, whatever it is. And this one, to me, is just a no-brainer. If you're going to spend between 1,000 and 3,000 Rand punting in September, get to GGGaming, get on board and enter this competition. Got nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose.
And couldn't agree more. And just to put the guys' minds at ease who might be looking at entering the competition, but also trying to win their entry into the competition on the show, Gary, just to put their mind at ease, if you do enter the competition and you fund your account and you end up winning a free entry into the competition, GGGaming will just credit your normal betting account with that or refund you. So you're not going to be out of money. So you don't have to wait around. You can get entered and get going. And if you do happen to win something, whether that be a full entry or a share entry, well, that will be credited back to you. But Gary, interesting week of sport ahead as well, because we've got the rugby championships. You're going to be able to watch it there in Spain. Is there a TV in the hotel?
There's a TV. There's 73 channels, all speak Spanish. Just to clear up something that you said there. If somebody enters a competition and then wins a prize from us, right, we won't even put the money back in their account. We'll just give them the cash into their bank account. There's no tricks or little maneuvers here or there. If somebody's entered and then they win a prize, whatever the value of that prize is, we'll do an EFT into their bank account. So just to make things easy and there can be no confusion.
Right. Well, the boys are just talking about which country you're in, so they have confirmed it's Spain. And now, of course, they've got to try and figure out which hotel you're in. What sort of hotel is it? Are we talking 5-star, Gary?
It is a 5-star, I believe. You know what I'm saying? You know, there are a couple of dyslexic people here, and they're walking around and they keep saying they're between a rock and a hard place. But I mean, for the normal guy here, I think it's a lot of fun, Brent. That's the truth. It really is a lot of fun here.
That's it. Is that a GGGaming pen you got there?
No. We light blue. No. We're a light blue. This is black.
That's it. Well, I'll see if the guys have picked up on that. We've had a few Hotel the Serras. I can tell you, Ruan, you're wrong on that one. Ruan's finally got something wrong. We'll see if the guys pick it up. If nothing comes, I'll let you drop some stronger hints later in the show, Gary. But let's get on to the English Premier League, which is continuing this weekend. And what we've done is selected a good for the game treble here, and we'll take you through the legs. Let's hear what you think about it. The first one is Liverpool away to Leicester. And Chris on good for the game, he fancies Liverpool to win and over 2.5 goals. And that's quoted at 12-10 on your site, which is, I think, the biggest price I've seen. You reckon it's a big runner?
Well, yeah, I think Leicester are a reasonable side. You know, the type of side that Liverpool in the past haven't always put away when they travelled there. You know, I'm not saying Leicester in particular. I'm saying they're the type of side. So I think it's optimistic. Obviously, they've got a chance. I'm a big fan of Liverpool. I'm not saying I'm a supporter. I'm saying I'm a big fan of the football that they play, and they bought well and they're well coached. They do everything right. But for me, they've got to win the game first before they worry about anything else. I think they will win the game. Whether they win by your handicap, well, we'll know on Saturday afternoon. It's an early game, I believe.
It is. And just to mention, I see the guys still haven't got the hotel. There's a couple of guesses coming in. But they need to pen their thoughts on the live comments and see if they can get that. And then we've got a prize for the first three. We've got our first winner. Moscow Gomez has come in with a win. Ruan Fariz come in straight behind. Ruan in the prizes again. And I don't think it's going to take long for the third winner to come in because he just has to see what the two above him have put up. And we've got our third winner, Peter Paul. So I think we said 3 winners there, Gary. We've got our 3 winners. They finally got it. Guys, maybe you could just tell me, was it on the pen eventually that you saw it? But while they're talking about that, let's have a close-up of Gary's pen.
Well, if you're sitting closer to me, you'd get a close-up of my pen and ink. But, I mean, it has been a hot, sweaty day. But there it is, Hard Rock Hotel, Ibiza.
That's it. I believe there was some special package waiting for you at the hotel when you pulled in there, Gary.
Package?
You're on top of the TV or the fridge or something? There was something that you thought you might need?
Never seen. Hold on, let me get it off here. Okay, here it is, just to show, I don't know, that I'm not lying, right? It's an intimacy collection. I'm reading it upside down now, for lovers. It contains 2 premium condoms, sensual intimate lube, couple vibrating ring, mini vibrator, passion dice, and feather tickler. No, this is, I'm not lying to you, this is on the bar fridge. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know? I mean, it's hard to believe. But yeah, there's action. Yeah, I mean, even at the pool, they're not sharp, Brent. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. What goes on at the swimming pool here, I promise you, in most normal civilized countries, people would be arrested for it. But anyway, I'm not a prude. I'm not going to moan. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing so far. I haven't been participating in much of it. It's not a huge demand, funny enough, from the 23-year-old girls here for 52-year-old fat bald men. I don't know. So, I don't know when we went out of fashion, but it looks like we're out of fashion, you know?
Yeah, certainly. I noticed the packaging on that hadn't been broken yet, and I've got a feeling it's going to be making its way back to South Africa in the same shape. But well done to the boys. We've definitely got 3 winners. I'll wrap it all up after the show, but we've got 3 winners there, which we'll sort out with Dave. Let's move on to the second leg of the treble, and it's Manchester City. I'm saying -2. They're at home to Newcastle, and that's a 10-11. I just can't see anything but a comfortable Man City win there.
I'll concede that one. You know what I'm saying, Brent? They just score a lot of goals. They're a great side, Man City. I know that they fluffed their lines a little bit last week. That happens, you know what I mean? But they're back at home. They want to rectify that, you know? Yeah, I would say that if you have to choose one of your bets and have a single on the weekend as well to really, you know what I mean, secure a profit, that's the one I would go for. I can't see the team doing any better than getting hammered by 3 or 4 goals there.
Yeah, so that could be quite a nice one. That's the shortest price of the 3 legs. Just to mention, Peter Paul mentioning when you put that gift up on the screen that he'd rather just have better TV options with sort of live rugby and that on TV than what they've given you there. Certainly get more use out of that. And
is Peter Paul another 52-year-old bald old man or not?
He can answer that in the comments. I'm not too sure who he is. But he's one of our regular watchers of the show. He's always commenting. And I've got a feeling he's on Twitter as well and probably goes under a different name of Twitter. I suspect I know who it is, but he can probably confirm that for me. And then let's move on to the third leg of the treble. This is probably the biggest roughie. It's 16-10. And Arsenal away at Cardiff. I'm going Arsenal -1 again. They delivered for me last week. Wasn't overly impressed with them against West Ham, but I think Cardiff, I don't think they've scored a goal yet. They really are battling. And I think Arsenal's going to start finding their stride under the new manager. So I need Arsenal to win here by 2 goals or more.
Yeah, it's a definite possibility. You know, for my money, Cardiff are going down. They're just not good enough for this Premier League. Yeah, Arsenal will get better. They definitely will get better. Arsenal's challenges this season, no doubt, will come against the better sides. I think Arsenal will be able to put away the bad sides. I really believe that. Are they good enough against the good sides? So far, not. We'll see a little bit later, but so far not. He's quite inconvenient. Here comes room service. Open up.
I wonder what they're delivering for you, Gary.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to answer it, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens now. I'm sure they'll come barging in. So the thing is, Brent, I think that Arsenal will put these poor sides away. I have no doubt about that. And, yeah, I like that one as well. I really do. I think your biggest challenge, believe it or not, is going to come in the Liverpool game.
Right. Well, let's go. I'm just going to share my screen a bit because we've got one more promo and it involves that treble. So let me just start. I'm going to start here. I'm not going to run through it, but there, for those of you who might have missed it, there are the other 3 comps. Some of them, of course, will be valid, particularly comp 3, where you can refer other members to good for the game. So if you missed the show, you can go back afterwards, pause it wherever you wanted, and you can have a look there. And then let's move on to the next slide. And this is one where the guys are going to have to follow the treble. And you can win one of fully paid up entries into the Master Punter competition. You log on to GGGaming. There's the treble you've got to take. Over 2.5 goals, Man City -2, Arsenal -1. And once you've placed the bet, and this is the tricky bit, this is the bit which will require some action, you have to tweet the show, tagging me at the same time, at Brent Graham, and you include the bet reference number. The first 5 will qualify for prizes. Now, the prizes work as follows. If the treble lands, the first 5 will all get 3,000 Rand entry fee into the competition. So in other words, a fully paid up entry. But if the treble misses, the first 5 will still get 500 Rand towards their competition account. So if they want to go in if it misses and they go in with 3, well, they only have to find 2.5 because 500 Rand is going to be in there for them. So have a good look at this screen. Go there, place the treble. You must put at least 100 Rand on and send your bet reference number over Twitter to me with a tweet of the show. and the first 5 guys are guaranteed of something. And well, if I can finally nail a treble, they're guaranteed of free entry into the competition, which would be pretty darn good for them. Gary, what do you think then? You reckon I'm going to hit a treble this week?
No. I should have asked, I think I'd ever hit a treble. That would have made me think a little bit harder. But, Brent, I've known you for... But no. I mean, there's a chance. Let's be perfectly honest. You know, you've gone for a lot of the favourites here to destroy, all the favourites here to destroy their opposition in the Premier League. Yeah. You've definitely got a chance. I'll just look at it from a bookmaker's perspective, and I think something will go wrong somewhere for you. You know what I'm saying, Brent? But they're all solid and they got a chance and everything. Look, from my side, I've always said that at GGGaming, we don't run these competitions to not give away the prizes. I'd love you to be right, and I'd love the punters to win some money and 5 people to get their full entries. At the end of the day, it's about growing the game and people having fun, and we've got all that. And, you know, unfortunately, I miss Brad and yours show on the golf there, but I want to throw in my 2 cents worth in the golf that, you know, might help the people. I must admit, my last 3 outright bets in the golf have all won at 20 to 1 or better. I mean, if ever there's a way to stop it, that would be it. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you, I don't want to give you just plain wins, just straight out wins, because that's too tough. But in Denmark, I'm going to give you each way Matthew Fitzpatrick. Right? In the Dell in Boston. I know I heard that you told me that you and Brad like Patrick Cantlay. I do. I make him a decent runner for an each way bet. He would be my second choice. My first choice there is an old friend of mine, Adam Scott. You know, I just think that, I'll be honest, that would probably be my bet of the week. If you can get a top 5 Adam Scott, I think you'll get the money. I really do. And there's a bit of value there. I know I've took 2 in a row. My best bets have arrived. Both of them have been short. This one, at least you get a little bit of value if it does arrive.
Certainly does. Adam Scott has been showing up quite nicely in recent weeks. He sort of seemed to go on quite a dip, but he has been appearing towards the top of leaderboard. So I'll certainly be having a look at that one as well. Otherwise, no rugby championship this week, but I'm sure you'll have prices out on the Curry Cup and perhaps some of the other rugby. There's European rugby swinging into action. Yeah, definitely. There's been a lot of action in that all the time. But yeah, I think that the rugby break comes at a good time for the Springboks. They can regroup, see what they can do, see if there are any overseas players that could help them, see if there are any combinations. I don't know what he's going to do. I think that he was testing a few things in the first 2 weeks. I don't know where the answers lie for us yet. So I'm happy it's a job that I don't have. So I don't know what the answer is, but it's probably the only weekend that we can say for certain that the Springboks won't lose. Let's see what happens in a fortnight's time, though, you know. Great. Well, I'm just going to bring up, for the last time, Gary, I'm just going to bring up this slide, just in particular with the first group of bets on, just so that the guys can have a look at this top one in particular. The 3K Master Punter competition, to the first person who emails Gary his best bet from last week. So that shouldn't be too tough. I'm sure someone can come up with that one. Gary, thanks very much. Have a safe trip back to South Africa. Looking forward to touching sides with you next week. And yeah, we'll probably slot into a more regular time slot. Guys can start knowing we had to come out a bit early tonight. I know Henrik did mention he was going to struggle to catch the show, although I did see he popped on and he correctly identified who Peter Paul is. Magic Man on Twitter. That's who I was going to guess as well. And he's also got a good for the game handle as well. So yeah, Henrik's not only shrewd at punting, but he's clearly good at figuring out who everyone's aliases is as well. Brent, let's do this. Why don't we ask the public out there that watch the show for the next week to send out, for the next 5 days or whatever it is, to send out their optimum time that they'd like us to go on air with this, and I'll throw in a mystery prize next week for somebody who goes and puts that entry in. It'll be a worthwhile. Excellent. Right. So, guys, what you can do is you can either comment in the comments column here, alternatively email me, Brent, at Good for the Game, or just tweet it at what time you would like the show to go out. What's the most convenient for you? And then we'll try our best to fit in with that. Gary, enjoy the rest of your holiday. I hope you put some of the stuff you're given in the room to good use. And yeah, have a good one, and we'll chat when you're back in SA. Brent, thank you very much. We'll speak to you later. Excellent. Thanks very much, Gary. That was Gary Lentin on GGGaming Gone Mad, Episode 3. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can subscribe to the channel. Make sure you don't miss out going forward. And tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, tune in for our flagship show. I haven't contacted any of the guests yet, but we're going to be talking rugby, and we're going to be talking a bit of soccer and any other sport that's on the agenda from a betting angle, of course. Thanks for watching the show, and let's hope we have plenty of winners out there.